Hello everybody, Simone here with Bulletproof Business Growth, as always with some ideas and insights for what to pay attention to when you are getting ready to really scale your company. So today I want to talk about something that's an easy mistake that most business owners actually make that explains why they can't hire great people. And it starts with very simple clarity. So I read this article about an email that Linda Yaccarino, the current CEO of Twitter, wrote to all of the employees at Twitter. So listen to this email. So she says, Twitter is on a mission to become the world's most accurate real-time information source and a global town square for communication. We're on the precipice of making history. And that's not an empty promise. That's our reality. When you start by wrapping your arms around this powerful vision, literally everything is possible. You have to genuinely believe and work hard for that belief. And in this moment of complete reinvention, we have the opportunity to reach across aisles, create new partnerships, create new voices, and build something together that can change the world. And from what I can tell so far, you are built for this. So here's the crux sentence. The success of Twitter 2.0 is all of our responsibility. We need to think big. We need to transform. We need to do it together. So reading this, when I first read it, I was like, oh, that's kind of sounding cool, sounding good. It's like, Twitter's had a lot of issues. We've probably all heard about it. They've lost about 80% of their employees. They've lost a lot of their funders, a lot of their advertisers. So this is what I would think what a CEO of a ailing, failing company would say to her employees who she's trying to get on board with making a lot of changes. People hate changes. Changes are threatening. They're uncomfortable. And there's been so many changes. So many people have left. So she's trying to get a handle on that. And I'm not even really talking about this piece, but I really want to talk about why this piece is something that could easily sound good, but that doesn't actually help you get the right people on board and keep them on board to help you grow your business. Because what's wrong with that email is it says absolutely nothing. It's just a whole bunch of generalities. So one of the most important things for a CEO is sharing their vision and helping every single person in the company own that vision in their hearts. It's not something you can just understand intellectually. It has to for a team to truly be great, to support a business at the very highest level. Every single person on that team has to own that vision in their heart. They have to understand what it means to them, how they fit into it, how they're supporting it, how their role fits in the overall business strategy, blah, blah, blah. And we'll talk about that later. But when we hear something like that, it really means nothing. It is not a vision, because it's incredibly vague. It's also very short. It just says this one thing about, we're going to make it this most accurate real-time information source and a global town square for communication. I mean, that's the only thing that says a little bit. It's a very, very high-level sentence that, sounds cool, but what does it actually mean? So it means nothing. It's far too generic. And honestly, it could be anybody's vision statement. That's really all it is a vision statement. That it's not a vision. And the mistake that most business owners that I talk to one of them every single month, is that they think their vision is something just like that. That's a short statement, you kind of sort of like an elevator pitch that lets everybody know, hey, this is what we're up to. When in reality, it's nothing but a statement. It's like a bullet point. When what a real vision is, it's a story. It's a painted picture. It's specific, it's detailed, and it could only ever fit one company. So it has no room for generalities, for being vague, and being unclear. And I know it's just something I hear over and over and over again. And you'd think this wouldn't be the case, but for most entrepreneurs, having a very clear vision that they can articulate is the hardest part. I know everybody, y'all have a vision, otherwise you wouldn't be here, but there's a really big difference between having a vision and being able to articulate it in a way where your entire team gets, hey, this is what this means to me. This is how I fit into it. This is why this matters. This is what the strategy is behind everything I do. And that's what a vision's job is. So, take statements like this, they really tell us absolutely nothing. So we want to think about a vision like it is a painting, and it helps, like I said before, it helps everybody see it, but it defines very important elements. Like she talks about success. The success of Twitter 2.0 is all of our responsibility, but it doesn't talk at all about what success actually means. And those are the kind of things that when you're thinking about, it's a tight talent market, it's a tight labor market. People who are truly rock stars at what they do, even if they're at the bottom heap, even if they're just doing some sort of labor function, people who are really good, they want to know that they can make a difference, that they can contribute at the highest level, that what they do is going to hit the mark. And when we're being generic, it takes that clarity away. So it's very, very important to define, hey, what does success actually mean? And that is the true function of a CEO, is to define what success means for every single person in the company at a high level, but that they get it. So this here says nothing. When she says, okay, Twitter 2.0 is all of our responsibility, well, what makes it, why is it Twitter 2.0? What makes it Twitter 2.0? She says nothing about why it's suddenly different, why we should think about it differently, how we should act differently, what we all need to bring to the table so that it can go. So there's so many things that are so meaningless in this statement. And again, I'm not ripping her. She's a very good leader as far as I know. She's taken on a huge job, but this is just about looking at what not to do when you're taking your small business and you're hiring up and you're trying to get more best talent on the bus, and you're also wanting to set them up for winning right from the start. You want them to be able to hit the ground running because they truly understand your mission and your vision, how they fit into it and how they can impact it, right? So this other thing that she says is in there, well, the success is all of our responsibility. Well, that sounds great. And of course you want everybody in the company have a sense of ownership, which is super important. But let's just face it, the responsibility for success, that's always the CEO's biggest job. So it always starts with the CEO. And when you think about it, like if as an employee you don't know what success actually means, how could you be responsible for it? And this is a huge, huge problem, because I hear this all the time that, when people come to us, a lot of times they're like, I have this team of people, they're generally pretty good, but it doesn't seem like they ever really get what I'm saying. They can't, they're not accountable. They don't deliver. And then we find out later that there's been a lot of stuff like this that's been going on in the company where the CEO is trying to be clear, but they don't know how. So they deliver a lot of generalities and a lot of vague stuff. And then you have a group of people who are trying to do a good job. They truly are, but they don't know what that means. So the CEO is trying, the employees are trying, but it's like they're speaking two different languages, and they're just completely not getting each other. So everybody is frustrated and unsatisfied to satisfied because it's not working. It is so important that the direction of the company, the strategy of the company is laid out in a very specific way. And that starts with having a very clear, detailed, painted vision that we teach our clients very specifically how to do. So this piece is the crux for non-performing teams, because you can't hold people responsible for something that's not clear. So if you as a business owner can't articulate the direction of your company and what that means for every single person, every department, how it all fits together, then people can't see it. And if they can't see it, they can't deliver. So those 10 words, she says right there, you know, the success of Twitter 2.0 is all of our responsibility. They're just nothing but words. They're empty. There's no context for it. Anybody who's just reading this basically is no smarter after they read the communication than they were before. So you want to really think about, because everything, your vision is like the Bible in your company. Everything is based on that. It's your 3-year strategic plan. And we very specifically teach a 3-year strategy because it's far enough, it can be audacious, but it's not so far that it becomes completely detached and just sort of something that's out there. So it's real enough with enough possibility. And look, I know all of you have a vision, like I said earlier, but it's got to be something that you can define, that you can be clear about. It can't just be spaghetti in your head that you're trying to get out and flinging at the wall. It has to be clear. It has to be painted with detail. And it has to give people a great sense of certainty that you as a business owner know exactly where you're leading the company, where you're leading them, and that they're in the right place, because this is going in a direction with strategy that's defined, and they're a part of this. People want to be part of something, of a movement. And especially, and that there's a mindset difference, right? For you, when you have an entrepreneur's mindset, well, you are the one who's setting direction, who comes up with the ideas, who's sparking, who's inspiring, who's envisioning. And then people who choose to work for others, they have a different mindset. It's an employee's mindset. And that generally means these people want to be led, they want clarity, they want direction, because that's what they thrive on, right? It's like one is not better than the other. It's just, this is what people need to be successful. Clarity is number one. So they need the certainty from you as the business owner so that they can show up and do the very, very best job. So what you do in your vision is you're future pacing clarity. So the way we teach it is, it's never about we will do this. What it sounds like is we are doing this. This is already happening. This is real. So you're future pacing it from a place of reality, from a place of this is already done. This is what it looks like. So this gives people the context that they need to make good decisions. I hear this all the time, that our business owners say to us, hey, you know what? I have this team of well-meaning people, and when I tell them exactly what to do, they're doing a good job, but they're constantly asking questions. My phone is constantly ringing. It never seems like they can operate independently. Well, they can't, because they don't have the context that they need to do so. When you think about what a vision's job really is it's supposed to give people the context, the strategy. It's like your strategy that they can base their own strategy on. And the more you grow, the more you hire up, the more you hire experts, they're not going to come and work with you if they can't see that there's a strategy set forth that they can place their own strategy on, which means they can actually be successful and make a difference and knock it out of the park for you. So this is super, super important that there's this clarity, there's this strategy that they can use, that they can implement, that they can integrate with, so that they can do an amazing job for you. This is how you show them what's real. And this is getting more and more important, especially with the generational differences. Because, well, in the old days, a lot of people say, look, I grew up in a way where I was just told what to do. I did what I was told to do. And then when I had some ideas, maybe they were appreciated, maybe they were not. Now, especially when you're looking at the generation that makes up most of the workforce today, which is Gen Z, they have a very different expectation. Their expectation is that they will have this transparency in the workplace, that they can contribute to this plan, that they're part of the plan. They want to know that how they fit into it, what it means to them, what their responsibilities are, and also what their benefits are. And you know what? The human question that every single one of us always asks is, hey, what's in it for me? And every single person on your team needs to know that. And when you paint your vision correctly, it will show them exactly that. And this question is part of what every human wants. These are the most important human needs, right? There's the human needs theory that you can get into, but two of those human needs are significance and contribution. Significance meaning, hey, I matter, who I am matters, and contribution means what I do matters. So having a very clear high-level plan is very, very important because it answers those questions. So when you're thinking about it, it's like having a vision that actually does the lifting that you need it to do. It's like peeling the onions. There's many layers to it, and it draws many connections. And that's what it needs to do. It gives the context for people making their own decisions, for being accountable, for having the clarity that they need to deliver at the highest level for you. Because when you think about it, when your phone is ringing 50 times a day and people are constantly having questions, you need to follow up, there's questions, it means that they don't have the context that they need to make decisions on their own. So what you're helping them with is you're helping them to make consistent decisions, okay? So this is really, really important because this is also the foundation for your operational plan. So when you think about that, your vision is high level, your operational plan is what takes all that high level stuff and turns it into a step-by-step action plan. So it needs to be all laid out clearly so we can have a clear action plan. And that is what holds people accountable. So this is how it all works together, and this is how you establish accountability and ownership in your team. So having a very, very specific vision, a very, very specific vision statement that is only true to your company is what has to be the foundation for everything. So, and when you think about it, in the end, when you do it correctly, that is what enables you to have the freedom that you want, because now you have a team of people who are knocking it out of the park for you. They're doing an amazing job. They can handle all the operational stuff that happens every single day. So you can focus on the stuff that really matters, which is focus, growth, and taking your company to that next level of business contribution, impact, all the things that you've basically started the company for. So I hope this all makes sense and that this is really helpful for you. If you want to find out more, we have a brand new training out there. So go check out that training. It's at bulletproofbusinessgrowth.com/leap, bulletproofbusinessgrowth.com/leap. Check out that training. You can book a call with us if that resonates, and we can go from there. But you have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you next